What is ugliness? We are all born with different body constitutions and levels of health. Some of us have stronger constitutions, while others have weaker. We will all inherit different sets of traits which reflect differing levels of general health, inherited physical characteristics, and in other cases, illness and deformity. These are the parameters of our existence that we have been given from birth. From this point on, however, we have the freedom to select many of our own life habits that will deeply influence our levels of health and physical appearance over the course of our lives. I will take this moment to say that whether you were born into the top echelons of aesthetic beauty or whether you were born unattractive with physical deformities, it is best to not take any of it personally and to wholeheartedly accept whatever human body you've been gifted with in this life. For many people, they may feel that their looks have made their life more difficult than their more beautiful counterparts. You may very well be playing this game of life on a higher difficulty than of your peers, and if that is the case, you must rise to the challenge and embrace it. Much like a video game, playing on hard mode can be much more of a satisfying challenge and can ultimately make you a better player. You may not realize, but the pain of your struggles will deepen your appreciation of success and the experience of life itself. To quote the famous Carl Jung, "No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." When you've been down to the darkest depths, then the success of life is all the more sweet. Many who are born into riches never get to develop an appreciation of those riches they were born into. Be thankful if you've been given the difficult circumstances to appreciate life at this level. Moving on. Regardless of wherever you were placed on the spectrum of aesthetics, there is much you can do to move your marker either up or down the scales of attractiveness. It has been discussed at length in various texts over history that semen loss via reproduction or masturbation leads to organism degeneration and the inevitable manifestation of physical unattractiveness. Modern research conversely indicates that attractiveness can be used as an accurate indicator of general health. It is perhaps necessary to make the connection between health and physical aesthetics so that we can see how the destructive habits that lead to degeneration are also the roads to unattractiveness. In 1760, the renowned physician Tisot wrote on the topic of semen. We may form some idea of its importance by observing the effects it produces. When it begins to form, the voice, the countenance, and even the features change. The beard grows, and the whole body often assumes another appearance. Since the muscles become so large and firm that they form a sensible difference between the body of an adult and that of one who has not arrived at puberty. All these developments are prevented by debilitating the organ which serves to separate the fluid producing them. Correct observations prove that the extirpation of the testicles at the period of virility causes a loss of the beard and the return of an infantile voice. Can we doubt after this of its action on the whole body and not perceive the many bad consequences with which the emission of so precious a fluid must be attended? From the words of Hoffman many centuries ago on semen loss, after long nocturnal pollutions, the patient not only loses strength, becomes emaciated and pale, but the memory is impaired. A continual sensation of coldness affects all the extremities. The sight becomes dim, the voice harsh, and the whole body gradually wasted. The sleep is disturbed by unpleasant dreams, does not refresh, and pains are felt like those produced by bruises. Let us now look at some factors contributing to this view of semen loss and its influence on our state of attractiveness. Number 1. Reduction of lecithin, lipids, and other essential nutrients, minerals, and fats. Lecithin is a known ingredient of semen. With less access to lecithin due to semen loss, the body is less efficient at restoring lost levels, which will over time take its toll on the condition of the organism. Lecithin is a necessary component for carrying out many vital functions within the organs of the body. In view of the richness of the semen in lecithin, cholesterol, phosphorus, and other constituents of nervous and brain tissue, it is clear that it is incontinence or loss of these valuable nerve-nourishing substances which, by promoting undernutrition, is responsible for disturbed functioning of the nervous system and brain, and never true continence, contrary to the unscientific views of the psychoanalysts. Lecithin is found in all cells throughout the body, and one could imagine that the deficiency of such an important nutrient among the many others could only be detrimental to the overall integrity of the organism. Number 2. Hair loss. Hair loss is often referred to as a symptom of the aging process and a sign of physical degeneration. For many, this process occurs much before deterioration from aging is scheduled to occur. It is well established that hair loss is related to sex hormones, in particular DHT. There are numerous factors that indicate a relationship to excess ejaculation. Women don't produce or excrete semen, and cases of balding are far less than that of males. In studies on Pomeranian dogs that were castrated and lost the ability to produce and excrete semen, the majority of the dogs regrew their hair back at significant rates. Historically, eunuchs who didn't produce or excrete semen never went bald. Also, a common side effect of the most popular hair loss meds cause low libido, and such reduction in sexual appetites, as in the previous examples, seems to be correlated to hair health. It appears logical that the avoidance of ejaculation or excess ejaculation can only have positive benefits for the hair. Please reach your own conclusions on this point, as there is not yet an established official consensus on this relationship. Number 3. As biologists confirm that reproductive activity reduces lifespan, then it would follow common logic that before leading to an early death, the process of degeneration would be accelerated. As masturbation and mating both result in the loss of semen, it seems likely that the negative physiological effects of reproduction would also apply to masturbation. If masturbation does indeed reduce lifespan, then it can be more than reasonably assumed that one would undergo an accelerated aging process before succumbing to an early death. Such an aging process may prematurely induce the common recognized symptoms of degeneration that are associated with ugliness. Number 4. Spermidine has been researched and concluded to maintain telomere length and delay the aging process. In a study on humans, the cause of spermidine's life-extending effects were hypothesized as follows. Spermidine may counteract the general clock of aging by a global effect on cellular fitness, or may exert specific effects on multiple organ systems engaged in, for example, cardiovascular function, anti-cancer immune surveillance, or neurodegeneration, and thereby reducing the incidence of the major age-related diseases. Recent epidemiological evidence suggests that increased uptake of spermidine with food also reduces overall cardiovascular and cancer-related mortality in humans. Taking into consideration the above reasons, there appears to be much merit in the avoidance of semen loss to ensure optimal maintenance of the organism, and thus prevention of the degenerative processes that lead to aging and the subsequent state of unattractiveness. It is, to my knowledge, the actions of preservation of the organism that will most optimize your attractiveness potential. Before making an opinion on the topic, you can try it for yourself and see if you benefit from the practice of semen retention.